All right, welcome everyone to the Inner Circle pre-group workshop, where we are going to revise your relationship or circumstances, whatever is currently showing up for you while you are on the bridge towards your end desire. I advise that you come back to this little workshop daily as we wait for the actual live call to occur. This is meant to guide you, to keep you in your power, to help you be aware of what's occurring as you are on the bridge, to be aware of how you're feeling, of what's getting pushed out, of what limiting assumptions are coming up, what ones need to be revised. Ideally, this is something that, again, until we meet, will keep you centered, will keep you focused, and living in the end where it's already done. So let's dive in. Let's go right to the end. I want you to go ahead and intend right now so you can get the most out of this entire experience, that you get the most out of this workshop, out of our group call. Go to the reality where it's already done, where you got the answers you needed, where you stayed calm, cool, collected on the bridge, where you became the version of you that's a master manifester. You got so good at revision, where you got results instantly, every single day, consistently. And everyone in the group does so as well. What we imagine for others, we imagine for ourselves, right? So I want you to go right to the end right now and already claim the reality where this part of your bridge, where you are taking action, where you are going to this group call, you are listening to this recording, it will bring you the results that you're seeking. Okay. So let's do that by going to the end conversation. I want you to go ahead and imagine that after our group call, you are the version of yourself that is so satisfied with the experience. You got the answers and the help you needed. You felt heard, seen, witnessed. You enjoyed the company of others. You enjoyed their questions and received benefit from their questions as well. Imagine what you would be saying to yourself. Perhaps it's something like, I'm so glad I attended the live workshop. I'm so happy that I received the exact answer that I needed, and I saw proof of my manifestation as result. I want you to go ahead and just take a moment and write down what that conversation would be with yourself, right? Or even conversations you had during the group. And then you can go ahead and imagine what my response would be. Maybe you imagine sending a success story right after the Inner Circle live coaching. You imagine seeing results right after it and excitedly writing that email to sessions that will be sent to me. Or maybe you're even able to tell me during the group call, hey, I just got that text. This just got pushed out. Or maybe you're saying in the group, on the way towards this group coaching call, I was doing this workshop every day, and hey, I started getting consistent results. The 3D pushed it out. It worked out. Imagine how I would respond. And it can be anything, right? Maybe it'd be something like, I knew you could do it. I'm so thankful, so happy that you were able to stay within and it got pushed out. I am not surprised. You are the operant power. Great job. Way to go. Go ahead and just write down what you believe I would be saying in response to that success story. And then you can imagine, hearing it on the YouTube. You can hear me reading it out loud. You can imagine the comments from others, what they would be saying, how your story has inspired them, how they're so excited or happy to see you getting results. And then go to imagining what your specific person would say now that they're back in your life, now that everything you want is back in your life. What would they say if you told them about attending this workshop, about how you manifested them back? Imagine the version of them that's totally cool with it. You even might imagine the version of them because they're alive inside of you. I led you to that workshop. I'm so glad you did it. I'm so glad you know how to manifest me, and now we manifest together. I think it's so cool what you're doing. I know the inner version of me guided you the whole time, because I understand this too. I totally get this and support this. Imagine your fellow inner circle members congratulating you. As you type it into the chat, you're telling them, hey, I got success. I saw all this, in terms of 3D results. I got texts every day. I got asked out on those dates. I got that gift I wanted. I got the grand gesture, or I got a new version where I'm always the priority. I just feel so much more confident. I feel so much better. I understand revision now. I totally get it. Imagine them congratulating you. So proud of you, so happy for you. Again, imagine they all get success as well, because they are you pushed out. And again, what you imagine for another, you imagine for yourself. I want you to imagine just feeling satisfied and joyful that you successfully came back to this workshop again and again. You successfully stayed on your mental diet. You committed to inner conversations, and now you totally believe in your inner world. You know you're the operant power. You know the fruits of revision. You do it on the spot so easily. You get results right away from the 3D. You love coming to these group sessions where you can share your law of assumption experience. You can share your success. Your experience inspires others, and others inspire you. Write out those conversations of what you would be thinking or feeling, what you would say to friends or family, assuming they, and I would create them to understand all this, right? That they also understand law of assumption and support you in this. Go ahead and just go to the end where all of this brings so much success. Because as the operant power, you might as well manifest success in everything you do, right? Let's go ahead and claim the best reality that's available for you. All right. Take time doing that. Pause if you need to, but let's get into this workshop. That was just the start. So, wisely and daily use the pruning shears of revision. There is no objective beyond your ability to realize. So, that is Neville affirming to you that yes, if you desire it, you can realize it. You can objectify it in your outer world. Anything and everything you want, because you are one with your imagination. Your imagination is God in action. So, let's go into it. In this course, we're going to revise your breakup or any unwanted circumstances, right? We're going to conform the relationship to your ideal and guide you into a daily practice or meditation that, again, you can come back to again and again. As I suggested, I would come back to this again and again. I will do my best to keep it brief so it's easy, okay? If I never said another word, this would be the planting that tomorrow could never undo. Create the cycle you want to advance into the future. That is what revision is, right? This is so important. The ability to revise unwanted circumstances in the moment, okay? Because what we do right now is what is advancing into our future. There is no past, right? The past, if you will, is the 3D. That is unchangeable. That is unmovable. That is just an old reflection of inner assumptions, inner conversations. But memories that you hold within in your inner world are changeable and movable, and you replace them, right, with the wanted reality, with the desire. If it doesn't feel good on the inside, it is not true, so we change it to what we want it to be, and that advances into our future. Okay? So, in revision, we look at our inner world like the garden of God, and you ask yourself, what have I allowed to grow? Now, what you allow to grow is what you put your awareness on. If you are continually focused on the 3D and what is not working, you are growing that in your garden. If you are focused on separation, on unwanted, on not being chosen, not being prioritized, not being communicated with, not being taken out, not being valued, not being respected. That is what you are growing in your garden. Your subconscious, being your garden, is impartial. It does not care if you focus on good or bad, in the sense that your free will is to focus on whatever you want to, and she will manifest it out for you, your subconscious, okay? So we have to revise unwanted into wanted. We need to put our awareness, which is God, and the only cause of your reality, on what we desire. So our purpose is to simply tend the garden of God. Let only the lovely things grow. You want to revise daily and in every moment, especially if something unwanted is occurring. Do it in that moment. Every man in the world is rooted in you. I am rooted and end in God, right? So man can only change if we change a source. So your reflection of your person is rooted in you. Your reflection of everything is rooted in you. If you want to change what's happening out here, you must go to the source within to change it. So take a moment, pause this video, write down your desire, write down what your heart wants. No limitations, no wrong or right, no rules. Write down your desire. I want you to remember your desire is what is ready for you. It is already done, and you are currently on the bridge towards it. This workshop, this group coaching call is part of your bridge. Everything is part of your bridge. If something unwanted is happening out there, it is only for you to revise it. That is it. We don't have to make any other meaning. So pause, write down your desire, affirm that it's done, and then come back. I want you to remember that infinite versions exist, and choose the one you want. Again, the desire that you have in your heart right now is a reality that is already existing in consciousness. Because consciousness is the only reality, all you need to do is occupy the state where it's already done. Now, we do that through inner conversation, through affirmations, through meditation. And in this case, we take anything unwanted that is coming up, we revise it to match the desired state. So we're taking all parts of you and making sure they match assumptions of the desired state. If they're showing up and they're not wanted, they're showing up just so you can change them. That's it. So what I would like you to do is write out in a detached manner what unwanted circumstances have happened today or in the past that feel like they are an obstacle to you having what you desire. So what memories or past experiences, even if it was just from a few hours ago, have occurred that do not line up with your end desire? I want you to write them down in a detached manner, because you are going to be changing them. So pause the video, write them down. Just write it down line by line. Okay, now that you wrote it down, I want you to, just in a detached manner, once again, stay neutral to the best of your ability. Notice what occurred. Notice the thoughts that created this. Notice the assumptions that created this. Notice how this feels. Remember, if it doesn't feel good, it's not true. It just wants to be revised. So I have an example here, right, of a pattern that would show up where I would feel insecure and I would push out that my person would want to leave. I would take action from an insecure state. I would be reactive. I would get mad for little things. I would criticize. Then I would create my person to be hurt and take everything personally. I then go on to state what would occur. And then, if anything else had happened, I would write that down as well. So just write down, again, any circumstance that doesn't feel good that has been showing up, and then let's change it. So again, we do this in a really easy way. We just write down the opposite. So my original was I was feeling insecure, thinking he would leave. Because of my insecurity, I'd react and get mad at him for little things, accusing him of not doing enough or being enough for me. Right? Now let's change it. I suggest don't change yourself. You're perfect and whole. But change others to be the version of them that you needed. Okay, so when I was insecure and reactive, he would reassure me and comfort me. He took nothing personally. Now, you then could write an inner conversation of what that would sound like. Right, so maybe I would imagine my person saying to me, I love you. I know you're scared right now. Everything's okay. I'm not going anywhere. I am totally committed to you. And then I would respond, thank you. I feel so understood and loved, adored and cared for. I really needed to hear that. Then I would go to the next one, right? Eventually it got so bad, we kept disagreeing, so on and so forth. Nope, let's change it. I go to the reality where he's the version of my person that meets my needs, is there for me. So I write down, because he kept comforting me and reassuring me, he felt stronger and like he could provide, and I felt more and more secure with us. Right? So we're really selecting the version that we want of our person and realizing the benefit of it for ourselves and for them. When we imagine what we desire in others, it's usually a far better version of them that brings joy to all. So go through your unwanted circumstance and change it to what you want it to be, making sure to select the best version of your person and how it makes you feel. Then add an inner conversation to further enhance what occurred. You can refer to this example for more. Be sure to pause and complete this circumstance into the revised circumstance. Again, this is where you can now add inner conversations. So now that you have clearly revised your situation, go ahead and add the inner conversation that reinforces that new behavior. Okay, so again, I wrote down, when I was insecure and reactive, he would reassure me and comfort me because he took nothing personally. So then I'd hear my person say, I'm always here for you, babe. I never take your moods personally. I know you just need comfort and love, and I'm here to give it to you unconditionally. And you always respond, thank you for always being here for me, loving me no matter what I'm feeling. I love that I can tell you anything and you just reassure me and calm me down. I feel so loved and secure. So good to put those feelings in there, right? So you do that for every revision that you do, okay? So again, pause, make sure you have those inner conversations. And I suggest doing the inner conversations until you feel comforted and reassured. Focus on it, replacing the old with the new. Pause this until you have that. So, if you do it daily, it will awaken the spirit of Jesus, the forgiveness of sin, missing the mark. There is no condemnation, only forgiveness. You want to come back to this every single day, or maybe multiple times a day, if lots of unwanted circumstances or memories are coming up. Give yourself the time to go back to this and put it through this workshop. You will see so much push out from this, but more importantly, you will feel better. You'll feel more neutral. That's how you know revision is really taking hold. Maybe not today, but by tomorrow, notice how you feel. Notice how you're starting to feel less reactive towards old circumstances that used to really hurt. You start to not care anymore. You start to believe in the inner version, and then the inner version can actually get pushed out. So, Revision daily practice. Don't judge, turn in and prune. So instead of judging out there and calling things wrong or right, go within. And every day I would suggest look over your day, review without judgment, and write out what you reacted to. Then rewrite it to conform to your ideal day. Relive that day and do it over and over until it takes tones of reality. Right? I am changing the nature of that being. It is my duty. Right? This is your responsibility. You're the operant power. You're the only one that can change it. So every day, come back to this. Ask yourself, what did I react to? Write it down. And then change it to what you want it to be. Right? Just like we did. Then add the inner conversation to further bring in the tones of reality. The next suggestion is to write out your day from a state of indifference into what you want it to be, okay? So just like I was talking about, what did you react to? Right, write it out and now change it to what you want to be, what you wanted to hear, what you wanted to feel, what you wanted to see from your person, right? Add the inner conversation. Now these revised days change my tomorrows. So this becomes your daily meditation. Come back to it again and again if you need to, or at least daily. Commit to daily. Forgiveness and freedom are indissoluble. For he is found in you. Forgive and you will be forgiven. Yes, we do need freedom. But to fully experience freedom, we need to forgive. I intend that is helpful. I intend this workshop is something you come back to again and again, and you find freedom from it. Until then, continue to live in the end. I will see you in our live group workshop. Do this until it conforms. Remember to revise on the spot. Revise for others. Revise at the end of the day. Be the gardener.